Look, I think in taking over the team, the very first meeting was clear that this team had to qualify for a World Cup. It was, we said this team, this group of men would be the last group of men to earn that right. That was the first thing, and the second thing is, if we qualified, we knew we could change a football country forever. And that's what's drove us every day. It's what they hear from me every meeting, that it's bigger than us. It's way bigger than us. So that spirit, you see, we all want to get to Qatar. That's one thing. There's a lot of personal agendas that are in there as well. That's human nature. That's normal. But I genuinely believe that these men know that they've got an opportunity to really leave a proper football legacy for this country moving forward. Well, I think coming into the game, it's been a rough couple of days. We've lost a couple of players, and without Davies, without Eustáquio, without Hutchinson, and then you see McKennie, Aronson, Pulisic, Musa, guys that are in great form, Dest. You start to look at it, and you've got to know that in a game like this, there's going to be two elements. It's going to be tactical, and it's going to be about team spirit. They're the two things, and the first goal was key. I mean, once you score that first goal, you've got control now. You can take control of where you want to play the game and how you want to play the game. So we were able to adapt, to allow them, similar to when we played them in Nashville, to allow them a bit more pitch control in areas and to make sure that we were resilient. We've shown that we can do that. We've shown we can see games out, and our transitional threat. I think that's it's a massive part of the identity of this team, and we were able to rely on that at the end. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, what was pretty amazing tonight for Jonathan Osorio, Mark Anthony Kaye, Kamal Miller, Ali Johnston, they haven't played minutes. They're still in a pre-season. That was US squad was a European team in full season, and that's the reality. They knew they had to dig in and fight for each other. They knew they had to give that bit extra. So I was just really proud of them. I mean, that was a tough test for them tonight, really tough test. Just given where they're at. The US are a tough test on any day, but, given the realities of, the depth in our squad, but also just where these players were at. So, watching Liam Fraser come in again, that lad just seems to be ready to go all the time, and he has a bit of a knack against the US as well, so that was nice. And Junior coming in and contributing with his quality. But let's talk about Johnny David and Kyle Larin. You see that real quality, and Tajon Buchanan, just the X factor that they bring. And then Stephen Vittoria, Ali Johnston, Kamal Miller, they were absolute rocks. And then Milan, he wasn't massively busy. He had to pull that one big save out, and he did it. That's what he can do. He's dialed in. When Milan Bojan's dialed in, he can be one of the best around. When you've seen that form in Champions League in Europe, I've seen nothing like it. It's Laura. It's everything we've dreamed of. Look, I'm a hardcore Newcastle fan. I'm just a football fan at heart. I used to turn up to St James's Park and used to love that walk in. That was the favourite part of the game. Sometimes the football match wasn't the best, but the walk in was the best. The atmosphere from the fans. It's the first time I've really felt like I'm living in a football country. It was amazing. The flares were going off. It was like a Liverpool arriving for a Champions League game. It was that wild, and there's no exaggeration there. If you were in that mosh pit, it was pretty wild. The bus couldn't even get through. I mean, that's it. This is what we've dreamed of. It's absolutely what we've dreamed of, to get people excited, and people who've always had to wear an Italian shirt or a Serbian shirt, a Greek shirt. They can put them down. That's what we want them to do, and pull on their Canadian jersey now and be proud of us as a football country. And we were feeling that, and when the boys feel it, they just absorb it. There's no doubt, in the dressing room they were buzzing, absolutely buzzing. So, you know, it's great to see the football fans get behind us, and you can just feel the excitement from the fans at the end of the game as well. I keep coming back to, you know, the team spirit. We work hard at that. We work hard on cultural elements. I've got a leadership group that put work in. You know, they look at the challenges in each window. They look at, you know, how they have to circumvent those challenges with their leadership style. They are very clear what they contribute as leaders to this team. There's work goes in. This isn't rock up and play football. This is a high-performing group of guys that are, you know, high-quality leaders. That's the starting point. You know, I'm a conduit in that process, but those guys have really took on that leadership responsibility, and that's why they don't break. They bind together. The tougher it gets, I think the stronger they become. I think that's been a massive part of the philosophy, and once that trust's there, then the tactical excellence, you know, they back our tactics, they back our strategies. And players, when they're 100% behind something, you know, you get an outcome. And then when you've got trust and the clarity of the tactical excellence, you get the chemistry. And that's what you're starting to see. Players are starting to, you know, mask each other's weaknesses and, you know, celebrate that others have got strengths. And teams, you know, I've been in before, you've sensed, you know, teams can't celebrate when someone's got strength. It's an ego thing. And I think, you know, we're at that point where there's real clarity in how we play, our identity from game to game. And there's a real trust in that people will do what they say they'll do when they get on that field. And a leadership group that will not let the team break. Well, we're winning. There's 4 games in a row, I think. Is it 4 now? I don't know. But, yeah, you know, when you're winning, it's easy to enjoy your football. But we've had our tough times, and we've had to come through them like any team. So they're enjoying the fruits of the labour I think they put in the first 2 years. It took time to bring it together. And again, you know, we have got a long way to go. We're not qualified yet. The first thing we said when we brought the boys together at the end of the game is, it's not done. Like, it starts again tomorrow. We've got El Salvador, we're not there yet. We need some more points and everything from the recovery to get ready to go into heat. You know, I won't let these boys off the hook. They'll get a little bit of time to enjoy the moment, and then we're back at it. And we've got to keep staying humble. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We're not there yet. 4 games to go, and a few more points to put in the bag. Yeah, I think you have to at this level. I think that transitional moment is just so critical, and you know, those smart fouls is something we talk about. It is an important part of our game, and I think every team's game that pushes through. But I think you've got to look at, you know, Weston McKennie just showed what a level he can play at. Him and Musa have really created a new edge for this US team. You know, they were really dominant, and you know, coming in at half time, there wasn't a tactical issue for me in terms of, you know, matching Greg's structures. It was more about the individual quality of Musa and McKennie, who really came to play today. Like, you know, watching McKennie on the sideline, you can see he's a top level player. So whenever we got pressure, he was able to eliminate it. And at half time, it was you know, it was about being more controlled, getting more zonal, so that, you know, we always had another cover or support within 5-10 yards of McKennie. So whenever pressure went on, there was cover to him. And you've seen that with Richie, Ali and Tejan, how they started managing him on the side of the pitch. We couldn't let him take control of the game again. So yeah, we had to adapt a lot in that game. I mean, that US midfield is as good as I've seen in CONCACAF. That was tough today. That was really tough. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching it. I mean, we've adapted tactically without Stefan and Alfonso. And you know, with Alfonso, we said, like, glass half empty, glass half full when you come into a window like this. when we heard Alfonso wasn't coming in, then the first thing we said, well, you know, this is going to give more time for Kyle and Johnny to play in more central areas and to work that partnership. And I just think in transition, John, you've seen it, they've been lethal. They've started to build that understanding of and predicting where they're going to be. I think you're starting to see that reaction time close where they just know. They know where they're going to be as they get on the half turn. So that has definitely improved, and that's been one of the silver linings of missing some key players that would have normally played maximum minutes. Look, I'm just putting my fingers in my ears when you say that. I don't want to hear that at all. I know what you're saying mathematically, but look, until those points are in the bag, Michael, we are 100%, and I'm not even allowing the players to talk about the table. We've just got to go into this again with the same sort of attitude. Start again. El Salvador's a cup final. The second we take our eye off that and we start thinking about the maths, you know, I think that's the mentality that's going to hurt us. Sorry to jump in there, but it's definitely something that's close to my philosophy going through these games. Sorry, keep going. My apologies. No. Oh, it's a great point, because one of the key things that, you know, the players know that I've implemented is the pioneering mindset, and that's what excited about taking this job on. You know, a lot of the success is built from a long time ago, and for this generation there's a real opportunity to pioneer every game. I mean, whenever we come into camp, we always set some clear records that we want to break, whether you're playing against a USVI or a Cayman Islands to break goal records. We celebrate all of the records after every game. You know, the players in our team meeting, we usually have a good laugh, and you know, all the records go up and people have to make speeches, and that's what we've created. It's a big part of my philosophy, that it's you know, be first at what we can be first at, and you know, get the leaders to establish what are we pioneering every time we come into camp. Is there a record we can break? So we've I think broke another one tonight, going 4 in a row. So this is what we talk about prior to games, you know, what we're getting after. And that to me is just the process. And when you say we're having fun and enjoying it, you know, everyone wants to get after things. They want to be first at things. So bringing that to light, it keeps them here in the present and keeps us on task. And yeah, we just don't get lost in the past or too far in the future. It's just, you know, how can we really crush it from game to game? Well, I think you know, Canada, you know, I'm an immigrant here to Canada. You know, we've got a high immigrant population, which many of those people have come from football countries, and you know, the national team have been beaten up for so long. So I think there's a lot of people now that can, you know, rally around the sport they love and pull a red jersey on at the same time. And be proud, just be proud that we're talking about football in this country in a way that we've got stars now. We've got young star players that are going to be around for a long generation. You know, I'm sure, you know, you've got players like young Marcelo Flores might be looking after this game and, you know, wondering whether he wants to play for Mexico or Canada. There's, you know, this is what we're starting to provoke across the world when these dual passport players are looking at where they pledge their international future. So, you know, all of this is important to our success, Richard, but you know as well as I do, World Cup qualification, you know, the financial opportunity that falls with that, you know, if invested properly, can really set a country up for a long time. And then knowing we've already got 26 in the bag, you know, this country could really start setting itself up as a top 20, top 30 nation, given our population. And once this passion catches fire, I think we will make sure the best athletes come to our sport and make sure that those with dual passports wear the maple leaf.
Ya que nos encontraste, no nos pierdas. Suscríbete a nuestro canal de YouTube de Telemundo Deportes.